welcome to Today I Learned About, the show where I fill your bag with puns and booze. So Halloween is an insane concept, right? We carve faces into fruit and put candles inside. We decorate our houses with death and evil. Children dress up like monsters and superheroes and come to your door and threaten you for candy. Parents tell their kid year-round not to take candy from strangers. Now on this day, all of a sudden, it's okay to take candy from strangers? And joke's on them. Mr. Tickles in his magic van always had delicious candy for me year-round. Yet, Halloween is the third most popular day of the year according to Statistic.com. Except for that one kid in school who wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween because it was super religious parents. Was his mum an overprotective bitch? Or did she see Halloween for the unholy celebration that it is? If you think about it, the majority of all major North American holidays are rooted in Christianity. Did somehow Halloween slip through the church's watchful gaze? Halloween celebrates literally everything Christians hate. The devil, overindulgence, and the tolerance of others' beliefs. How did all this become accepted in such a beloved holiday? Was Jeebus asleep at the wheel, or did that sneaky savior somehow treat us with a trick of his own? Even St. Patrick's Day, aka Drunky Debauchery Day, has direct roots from the success of a Christian missionary in the 5th century, bringing Christianity to the far-flung pagans of Ireland. Speaking of Ireland, this is where the origins of Halloween can be traced back over 2,000 years to the Celtic New Year. It was a day at the end of the summer harvest and the beginning of the winter festivals called Samhain. To the Celts, the changing of the seasons divides the dark half of the year and the light half of the year, the time when the veil between life and death is at its thinnest and spirits could pass through into our world quite easily. During this time, fire was a huge part of the celebration. Bonfires, torches, and lanterns were used to either ward off evil spirits or guide friendly spirits home. Then, in walks Christianity and is like, those beliefs are ridiculous. Let us tell you about our magical water-walking zombie that turns water into wine. Doesn't that make more sense? In the 7th century, the church incorporated this time of year by celebrating All Saints' Day on November 1st to commemorate all the dead saints and martyrs. This was known as Hallow Mass, meaning Mass of the Saints. The night before, October 31st, was known as All Hallows' Eve, which morphed into Halloween. However, the Celts insisted on keeping many of their pagan rites and rituals. So what we're actually celebrating on Halloween is the eve before All Saints' Day mixed in with ancient Celtic beliefs. Okay, so that explains how Christianity got its grubby little fingers on the day. But you ask, Sean, why do we dress up and carve pumpkins? Well, I'm going to tell you. Jackolanterns started by carving turnips and putting candles in them. They used turnips because Europeans didn't have pumpkins until the Columbian Exchange. The best lore I found regarding jack-o'-lanterns is the tale of Stingy Jack. Stingy Jack was a no-good Nick, a drunk, no-good-doer, just an overall jackass around town. One night after a hard night of drinking, he somehow runs into the devil, and through a series of events, he ends up trapping the devil in a tree by carving crucifix into the trunk. At this point, he strikes a bargain with the devil, basically saying, "Hey, I'll let you go as long as you promise that you will never take my soul." The devil, being an easygoing dude, strikes a bargain and lets him go. Jack continues with a debaucherous life for many, many years to come. Finally, one day, Jack kicks the bucket, ends up in heaven. Heaven's like, hell no, you are a total recluse. He goes back to hell. The devil's like, sorry dude, can't let you in. We made a bargain. But here, take this burning ember of coal. Jack takes that ember of coal and puts it into a turnip and carves a face on it for some reason. Now, Jack just wanders around looking for a place for his soul to rest, carrying this carved, burning pumpkin. So, any questions on why we carve pumpkins? Anyways, moving on. During the potato famine of 1845 to 1852 in Ireland, there was mass migration to America. The Irish, of course, brought their celebrations of Hallows' Eve with them. They also brought traditions like bobbing for apples, the first young lady to grab an apple with her mouth out of a bucket of water to be the next to marry. Because a woman with a large mouth is what every guy's looking for, I guess. The tradition of dressing up is known as mumming and guising. The poor would dress up as malevolent creatures and go house to house to perform either songs, poems, jokes, or some kind of trick for food. This later evolved into playing pranks when the people didn't make with the treats. You can see where this is going. As shit started to escalate, pranksters would start to wear masks so they wouldn't be recognized. These tricks grew into straight-up vandalism. In the 1930s, they became so dangerous and violent, it became kind of an extortion deal, where the storekeepers and homeowners started to give bribes to stop all the tricks from happening. This encouraged children to go door to door to collect treats instead of doing vandalism. By the late 50s, trick-or-treat was the holiday motto. However, the mischief still continued, but in lesser forms like soaping windows, egging, and toilet papering houses. In the 70s and 80s in Detroit, Michigan, this night became known as the Devil's Night because of the widespread arson in the city. Today, Halloween goers are usually young children with the occasional teenager peppered in looking for easy loot, which is fine as long as they play by the same rules and put in the same effort into their costumes, which they don't always do. Now you know Halloween traditions come from a grab bag of pagan and Christian customs that have evolved into a day that gives women an excuse to dress as slutty as they want. God bless paganism. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and share it on some of your favorite social media platforms. So long and stay frosty.